This is Zach Bartness with Shared Alliance Insurance, and today I'm going to talk to you about 5 coverages every business needs or should consider. First coverage every business should have is general liability. This is coverage for property damage or bodily injury to another party. It can also include advertising injury, and that's coming up more by maybe you pull a picture off the internet, you post it on your social media or website, and you did not have written permission to do so because it was copyrighted. I'm sorry. So now you've posted something you didn't have permission to use. It was copyrighted, and you are now liable. So just an example of how that can come into play. But every business should have some sort of general liability policy, and we can curtail that to every business's needs, just depending on what they're doing and the scope of their operations. Second coverage every business should have is some sort of property coverage. If you own a building, it's pretty cut and dry. You need to have some coverage for that building. But the other things you need to consider covering are coverage for tools, equipment, furniture, computers, and stuff that are on that premises. If you've got people out in the field, you might need coverage for stuff that's out there. So we need to put a different policy in place for that. It's called inland marine policy. Third coverage every business should consider or have is some sort of commercial auto policy. If you own autos, pretty simple, you got to have a commercial auto policy. But we run into a lot of times people do not own autos. So there's a coverage that you would want to put in place to protect the business should they be brought into a lawsuit about someone on company business using their personal car. The personal auto policy would be primary, but the business maybe could get brought into that suit. And so you'd want to make sure there's coverage in place for that as well. Fourth coverage every company needs to consider is workers' compensation coverage. This is coverage for medical expenses, lost wages, rehab expenses, etc. that may come up. In South Carolina, if you have 4 or more employees, including the owners or LLC members or whatever your structure is, you're required to carry this coverage. That's the state law. There are a few exceptions, but if we talk to you, we can go through those with you. Every business should have this. I can give you countless examples of why you should consider it, even if maybe you're not at that statutory requirement. If you're subcontracting work out, there's all sorts of different things that can come up. So, be very careful about that. Don't just make your decision based on the number of employees. At least have a conversation with somebody like myself or anyone in our office that can educate you on that. Lastly, that's a newer coverage here is cyber liability. It's newer. It's been out for some time now, but it's becoming more and more prevalent. And this is for coverage for theft of data or breach of data. By having this in place, it reduces the chances that you're going to have some sort of huge expense that goes along with that breach, with the remedy costs and fines and things that go along with that. We've got some great products that are available that really will help protect and cover a business. And it'd be just a great conversation to have that. So anybody that collects, stores, or takes in personal identifiable information needs to consider putting something in place in this respect. I would hate to see a business not have that. But we see it all the time. And then I'll say this, I'm kind of closing on this topic, is 50% of small businesses breached are out of business after 6 months. So it's not a good thing. It's prevalent. Additional coverages that may come up, some specialty things you may need to add. Foreign travel of employees. If you've got employees going overseas, you need to have a conversation with us. We can cover crime coverage. So if you have theft of money or things like that, we can throw that in there. Management liability, the decisions that the owners or management makes. If there's financial harm to employees or somebody else, there could be some management liability there. EPLI, employment practices liability, very prevalent these days. Wrongful terminations, things of that nature, sexual harassment. It's definitely a coverage that businesses should consider. And then some sort of professional or malpractice coverage. Basically, if you are giving someone advice on how they should handle a situation, and then based on your advice, they now have a financial loss, you could be professionally liable. So that's another coverage to consider. But those 5 main ones I talked about, those are the ones you've got to have or consider.
Again, thank you for listening. Check us out, www.sharedalliance.com, or give us a call, 864-609-5550. We look forward to helping you and being here for you. Thanks. Have a great day.